Hello everybody, this is Skip Elsummer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films, and sometimes we learn things because they're educational films. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we learn nothing because we are jaded or we know better. But so I'm still looking for the film Why We Need Each Other, which was clipped. And I have to find another copy of it, which I don't know if I have. I'll have to look and see, looking in the database, but it might take a couple of days. But this is another one in that series. Why People Have Laws. Enjoy.
Once upon a time, there was a king who liked to make rules. There were rules about tulips and rules about roses. There were rules about eyebrows and rules about noses. Rules about keys and rules about locks. Rules about shoes and rules about socks. Everybody in the country had to do what the rules said.
Except me!
In that country lived three friends who didn't like so many rules. There was Shiver, who was always cold. He loved to warm himself by a fire.
No fires in January, February, or March. Fires are for the summer.
But the king had so many rules about where and when and how to make fires that most of the time, Shiver was cold. Shiver had a friend called Gobble. He was always hungry. But the king had many rules about eating.
No eating cookies with your left hand. Apples are for Thursday, and absolutely no donuts in the kingdom.
The third friend was called Snore. He loved to sleep.
What? No sleeping while walking. And the only person in this kingdom who can snore is His Majesty, the King.
One day, these three friends made up their minds to go away. They set out to find a place where they could live without any rules. Finally, they found a lovely wild land where there were no rules at all. And here they settled down. They built their houses the way they wanted. They planted their garden the way they wanted. One day, Gobble was hungry. He went to an apple tree in Snore's garden and filled his basket with apples.
Wait a minute. Those are my apples.
I can eat whatever I want. We don't have any rules about what to eat and what not to eat.
If you come near my apple tree again, I'll hit you.
One day, on his way home, Shiver made a big fire right near Gobble's house.
You can't make a fire there. You're scorching my donut.
I can make a fire wherever I want. We don't have any rules about fires.
That is for your fire, and that's for you.
Now, for a while, Snore was happy in the land without rules, but his neighbors weren't.
I can't stand that snoring any longer. Listen, you're keeping me up at night. Either stop snoring or cover your head with pillows. I can snore all I want. We don't have any rules about that here.
This made Shiver so angry that he made a giant noisemaker out of pots and pans.
If you keep me awake, I'll keep you awake, too.
So matters went from bad to worse in the wild land without any rules. Because there were no rules against taking other people's apples, Snore was so busy guarding his apple tree, he didn't dare take his afternoon nap. Whenever he snored at night, the noisemaker woke him up. He was sleepier than ever. Gobble was so busy putting out Shiver's fires that he hardly had time to grow food in his garden. He was hungrier than ever. And Shiver was colder than ever.
Listen, something must be done. We came here because we didn't like the king's rules. But now I'm just as hungry as ever.
And I'm just as cold. And I'm twice as sleepy.
How about if we made up our own rules? Just a few important ones to help us live together without fighting.
And we'd all have to follow them, not like the king who didn't have to follow his rules.
So the three friends talked it over and decided on some rules. No eating apples from someone else's tree. No making fires near somebody else's house. No keeping people awake with noisy snoring. Everybody could still do what he wanted as long as it wasn't bad for someone else. Today, people who live together make rules which everyone has to follow. These are called laws. There are laws about crossing streets, about driving cars, about keeping places clean, about stealing, and about many other things. People cannot live together without good, sensible laws. That's what Shiver, Gobble, and Snore found out once upon a time when they tried to live with no rules at all.
So, I like those cartoon voices. Big fan. So behind me I have the scanner set up and we are hoping this is going to work. So news today was that Jesse Jackson passed away, and I knew I had some footage of Jesse Jackson, so that's what this is. I don't always have footage when celebrities pass. Like the Robert Duvall passing yesterday, I kind of looked to see what I had, and I didn't have anything. Likewise, Frederick Wiseman. I wish I had Titicut Follies, but I don't. I almost got it on eBay, but then the auction got pulled. All right, so this is a 60 minutes piece. Hopefully I won't get hammered, but we'll see. We'll go for it. Jesse Jackson and Carolyn Sheldon, Pushing for Excellence. Enjoy.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson is a protege of the late Dr. Martin Luther King. He spent the 1960s lecturing whites, demanding equal rights. As the years went by, as laws changed and doors opened, Jackson and his message changed. He still lectures, but now he makes demands of not whites, but blacks.
Some of us find ourselves now having struggled so long to get some clothes, we got them now. Struggled so long to go to a great school, we can go now. And go to the University of Southern California and have access to the most intricate information any university has to offer in the world. And we sit there in a classroom with new books and learned teachers and nothing to hold us back. No cotton to pick, no tobacco to cure. Just sit there with nothing to do but learn, and we just freeze. What you want to be?
He is headquartered in Chicago, but his message so impressed the Los Angeles Board of Education that they asked him to supervise a $400,000 self-help program for black schoolchildren. And Jackson hopes the concept will spread to other cities. The idea is to build confidence starting with even the smallest children.
And I am somebody. My mind is a pearl. I can learn anything.
He carries that same message to predominantly black high schools in Los Angeles.
Down with dope. Up with hope. Nobody will save us, from us, for us, but us. Right on. You know, I look at a lot of these theories that a lot of the social workers come up with, and they say, now the reason a Negro can't learn, says his dad is gone, and his mama is pitiful, and he doesn't understand anything about education, and not much food in his refrigerator, and there's rats all in the house, and that's the reason he can't learn. And so we read all that mess, and then we come to school, and a group of black folk come to the classroom, and the teacher sitting there feeling guilty. Say, well, these poor old pitiful Negroes, say, they got all these heartaches and trials and tribulations, and they're so pitiful, and now I got to stand up here and try to teach them how to read and write and count. If we can run faster and jump higher and shoot a basketball straight off of inadequate diets, then we can read and write and count and think off of those same diets. All that can happen. But now the challenge is upward mobility, and that is why the focus on not only getting in school, but producing in school becomes a new kind of challenge. In other words, we can get into the new school by law, but to become doctor, lawyer, engineer will require intense effort. We're behind in medicine, in law, in engineering, in chemistry. We must struggle to excel because competition is keener, because doors that once opened are now closing in our faces. And so in my judgment, we need a massive revolution in our attitude. What you gonna do when you get out of here next year?
He cautions blacks that not everyone can become a lawyer or engineer or doctor. Part of his message is that it is an accomplishment to become a fireman or a carpenter, as long as one first learns basic academic skills.
You think you'll be able to get into the union?
Yeah.
His point is that getting ahead in a union job or anywhere else depends mightily on school.
And that is why I contend to our young people that we must turn that television off at least 2 to 3 hours a night, because mental development becomes a certain kind of pressure. That is why we must be disciplined, because to keep those doors open, we must apply political pressure from without, but attitudinal pressure from within.
Jackson's first move in Los Angeles was to explain his approach to a small group representing teachers, parents, and students at Dorsey High.
The only way you can be a champion is to want to be a champion. And we're contending that we must produce champions in school if we are to survive in the labor market and if we are to survive in the broader world. That's why if you miss serious discipline those first 4 or 5 years, the older the student gets, as the student gets behind, the students then become a disruptive factor because they really don't want homework to be involved, because homework embarrasses them. They can no longer get status in A's because they can't make A's. So they get status by intimidating somebody. Now I could come here today and tell you how beautiful black is and how wonderful you are and make you jump up and down and giggle. But I don't want to play games with you this morning, because it's beautiful to be black, but beauty is not enough. Willpower is a little something students wear down on the inside, down there where teachers can't reach, and even where parents can't reach. Everybody has his own light to shine. There is no problem that you got that can be solved with a gun, or knife, or a pair of scissors, or a razor. It is not a cure for any ill you got. You're not a man because you can kill somebody. You're a man because you can heal somebody. You're not a man just because you can make a baby. You're a man because you can raise a baby and provide for a baby and protect a baby. If we're to be what we ought to be, we got to be first class. But sisters, there's another side to that. First class men deserve what? First class women. You might well say amen.
This is CBS News correspondent Sharon Lovejoy, and I'd like to tell you about another quite separate effort to achieve excellence. This self-help program was launched by Carolyn Sheldon, who grew up in a Houston ghetto but got out. Although she is not a protege of Reverend Jackson's, we feel her efforts exemplify what he's talking about. Interviewer Sylvia Chase met up with Carolyn Sheldon at the Neighborhood Help Center in Houston, where every Wednesday afternoon, Ms. Sheldon shares the secrets of her own success with the children who are growing up the way she did, black and poor.
I'm not trying to teach you to be white, okay? I'm not. But there are certain things you need to know when you get out there in the white world. I'm sorry, there's certain things you need to know. Most of us are brought up in an all-black environment. And a lot of times we get out there and we fail and we wonder why.
Carolyn offers her course free of charge. It's a course in pride and ambition.
Anytime a young man at school says, "Hey, Mama," you have to laugh on that one, right? If he says, "Hey, Mama," what is your normal reaction? If I said, "Hey, Mama, what's happening?"
I don't know.
Would you speak back to him?
Maybe.
Well, don't. If you respond to the "Hey, Mama," he's going to keep on saying, "Hey, Mama." If you respond to him hitting you on your behind, he's going to keep on doing that. But when he's ready to pick a wife, and when he's ready to have a lady, you will not be the one he will pick. You think so? Oh.
Widowed at 19, Carolyn shook tragedy by joining up with Continental Airlines.
24L on your left-hand side, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you aboard Continental Flight 950, nonstop for Houston.
She was one of the industry's first black flight attendants.
You came back into your community. What made you decide to do that?
In my mother's community, there were a group of girls, rough, tough, popping gum, like this, I'm going, oh, wow. So I thought it would be a good idea, to maybe form a little class on my own and just sort of expose them to some of the things I've been exposed to as much as I possibly can. Does anyone know how to eat a piece of bread? How? Okay, well, let me see, I'm gonna get Octavia.
Okay. Okay, you must take a piece of bread, take a piece of it off and put it in your hand, then take the butter and slide it on the bread.
Carolyn and her family lived for years on the wrong side of the tracks in the CUNY Home Projects, the only place her mother could afford when her husband left home. Carolyn took us back to the neighborhood where she grew up.
It hurts me, too, sometimes. I hear girls say that most black people are on welfare and they drive Cadillacs and that kind of thing. When I grew up as a young girl, my mother did not go on welfare. I got a job at 16 years old making ice cream cones. And Mother will tell you I gave her half my paycheck. My mother is very down to earth, and she used to say, Carolyn Ann, I wish I could do better, but this is all. And for some reason, as a young girl, I never understood it. It was just beyond me that I was living there. It's not that I want to be more than what I really was. It's just that I wanted to be more. It's very, very hard to be positive and poor. My mother was making $5 as a maid, and she'd come home with that $5. I wish she could tell me how she made it on that $5.
Carolyn's mother now earns a modest living babysitting. She moved from the projects, and her older children chip in to help pay the rent on her apartment. Angelina Mitchell invited Sylvia to lunch with Carolyn, her brother Michael, and sister Cheryl.
9 children is a lot.
Right.
Was Carolyn a help?
Yes, she really was. A lot of help. I used to take all of them and put them in the bathtub, and I'd have them lined up on the couch, and I just wanted Mother to see how clean the kids were.
She was the second mother to all of them, to all the kids.
Okay, I was raised in what they call a project kind of, and for a long time I could not talk about it, and I couldn't relate to the fact that I came out of this environment. And, you know, joining the airlines, I was introduced to a different lifestyle, and when I would come home, it was kind of hard for me to relate to this other life. And like Mother said, I've always been aggressive, so I used to always promise myself that I was going to get out. And I never doubted for 1 minute I was getting out of the ghetto. And I don't want them to have this, always have this sad soul story. You know, we always got the sad story. You know what this other side is like. At least know that there's some nice restaurants. At least know that there are plays and various cultural things that you can get involved in, aside from doing the funky chicken or whatever dances we're doing. Know that there's ballet here for you. If you don't appreciate it, maybe your children, maybe you can expose your kids to these things. The girls that I teach, they're very, very young right now. And right now it's very positive to be black. But I think once they grow up and meet the job market, it's not going to be about being black. So it's going to be about being qualified. It's going to be about knowing how to apply for a job. It's going to be about knowing what to wear on that job interview. It's going to be about knowing the right things to say and the time to keep your mouth shut. And they don't teach you those things in school.
But you're teaching them.
I'm teaching them.
How many in this room work? Have you ever seen on an application the latest dances? Have they ever asked you that question? Have they ever asked you that, Tina? No. If they give you a test, they're concerned about your vocabulary. And the only way you can increase your vocabulary is through reading.
I think that they need to be inspired to pursue some of the opportunities that are available for them. You have to kick some doors down, and I don't mean just go in there and act a fool, but I'm just saying you don't stop at that first door. You go on to the next one, you go on to the next one, and you keep pushing those doors in until you get what you want. And that goes for the guys and the girls.
Because nobody's going to give it to you, are they, Carolyn?
That's right. Nobody's going to give you a thing.
We can survive hustling, but there's a more excellent way. We can survive shooting pool, but there is a more excellent way. We can survive hustling and tipping, but there is a more excellent way. We can survive robbing folk, but there is a more excellent way.
Jackson's oratory packs full houses in black school auditoriums and churches all over the country. His is a new time religion. He is at his best spreading it when he is in the pulpit.
There's some debate about corporal punishment in school. Yes, sir. There's no debate about it at home. That's a home mission. Yes, sir. And don't tell me that you can't manage your child at 16. Because you're probably right. Yeah. But you have the option to do it at 6. You must raise the child while the child is a child. Now, it is obvious that parents can't do it alone. That's why parents need teachers. And teachers cannot do it alone. That's why teachers need parents. And when parents and teachers join hands together, children have a foundation. But when the teacher's over here and the parents over here, the child falls in the crack. If you love that child, tell that child the truth. Yes, right. Tell it, baby, the laws of convenience lead to collapse. Yeah. And the laws of sacrifice lead to greatness. You better tell that child. You may not be responsible for being down, but you must be responsible for getting up.
Okay, so I just said in the comments. Yeah, so obviously Jesse Jackson, his spanning of his career, rubbed people the wrong way at different points. I am not here to defend him, but I do think that he did do good. And, did some not so great stuff later. But let's keep our comments kind, and let's keep our comments to each other kind, because that's what we do here at AV Geeks, is we want to support each other. And, there's a... we embrace the snarkiness and the riffing behavior, but when it dabbles in criticizing people due to their social class, their color, their mental abilities, then that's not cool. So please, let's keep it above. Let's keep it above the board. And maybe instead, let's sing along to this song. Enjoy.
This. And I want one of these, too. There's so much that I want. How will I ever get a part of it?
Use consumer economics. That's what they tell us in school. Study and you shall have. Right, Linda?
Wrong, Frank. You ask yourself, what do I have to know to be a good consumer? Because if I'm good at buying, I'll get more of what I want.
Well, for me, I don't just want things. I want to be a special kind of person. Important. Influential.
Not me, Carlos. Maybe that's what's wrong with the world. Everyone wants more, but there isn't enough to go around. I don't want to have a lot if it means someone else has to do without.
I don't agree, Bill. I think somebody has to win. And when you win at consumer economics, everyone knows you're a success. Isn't that right, Donald?
Well, you both seem to make sense, but I don't know.
Maybe I could judge better if I really understood economics. All those words and principles. Scarcity, supply and demand, income and spending, opportunity cost, market price, production and consumption, inflation and economic change. I mean, I see consumer economics all around.
But I wonder, what does it really mean to me?
Consumer economics, what does it mean to me?
It means we'll get the things we want, we'll have the things we see.
Step right up, folks, and buy yourselves a brand new Feeble Fencer. Until this moment, you've never seen one. But once I describe what it can do for you, you won't want to be without it.
Consumer economics, what does it mean to us?
It means a way to give our life that extra special plus.
Pat Benson successfully faced economic change this year. Although inflation decreased the value of her savings and income, her wise buying, her search for good products at fair prices, and her use of sound economic principles enabled her to have a great deal of what she wanted, with some money left over.
Consumer economics, what can it give to you?
It brings a very special way to live your whole life through.
Do you mean there's a way to have everything I want, whenever I want it, like magic? If that's what consumer economics is about, I'm all for it.
You know it's not like that, Linda.
It sure isn't.
But when you learn how economics works, you can make it work for you. For instance, look at all of these things there are to buy. doesn't look like we could ever run short. But economists tell us about the concept of scarcity. What does scarcity mean to a person?
Scarcity. It means everything has a price. I may not be able to pay the price of everything I want. Now, I don't have anything. But when I get a job or some other source of income, I'll earn money. I'll spend it on things that I need. If I work long and hard, I'll earn enough money to spend on things I don't need, but that I'd enjoy having. But scarcity will still affect me. No matter how hard I work, no matter how much I make, I'll never have enough to buy everything I'd like to have.
No matter how hard we work, no matter how much we spend, we'll never be able to buy everything we'd like to have.
No matter how hard we work, no matter how much we spend, we'll never be able to buy everything we'd like to have.
No matter how hard we work, no matter how much we spend, we'll never be able to buy everything we'd like to have.
Can anyone?
Probably not, because a person's income is limited, but his wants are not. That's the meaning of scarcity.
Everybody has to make choices.
And we have to know how our economic system works.
How does it work?
It has a lot to do with those concepts Donald was talking about.
Supply and demand, production and consumption, income and spending. To understand those concepts, remember that we're all consumers. When one of us wants something,
I want everything.
another of us may supply that want.
Want everything coming up.
Beside being a consumer, that person is a producer who supplies products or services. Some producers supply us with food. Others supply manufactured goods. People who supply services may help us with transportation, health, or entertainment. Sometimes the producer sells his product or service right to the customer. A candy maker may sell you candy he's made himself, wrapped himself, delivered to you himself. But usually, people and services come between the producer and consumer. There may be a packager, a wholesaler, a transporter, and a retailer, the salesperson.
Here it is, folks. Chocolatey, nutty, marshmallowy, and with a deliciously tasty center of nougat. And at a low price like this, how can you afford to live without 1, 2, or 3 of these beauties?
So there are producers, middlemen, and retailers.
Where do we consumers fit into the picture?
Watch.
Here it is, the factory where I work. We make Weibelfetzers, a good product, precision made. We produce them. Families buy them and use them, and what a lot of uses they have. So, people like me are producers, and people who buy from me are consumers. I produce goods and services that consumers buy, and people who take jobs at my plant help me to produce. For their work, I pay them wages. That's a big part of their income. They may also earn rent from their property, interest and dividends. They spend this income on products and services, sometimes my products, giving us another circle, a circle of income and spending. Each makes the other possible.
I get it. Businesses produce and families consume.
Families earn their incomes from business, and I spend it on products and services created by business. And it all keeps moving.
Round and round, round and round. That's the circle of economic life. Earn and spend, produce, consume.
Our boy and girl.
And I and my wife.
It looks pretty grim and mechanical, like consumer economics isn't much fun.
But look at all the fun people have when they spend money, or when they save it to spend later. And the fun they have making money. that's not exactly what I mean by making money, but you get the idea. People work.
Sure. And producers and consumers keep our economy going.
Looks like our economy's going strong. They sure are turning out a lot of whatever those are.
I can't imagine what I'd use them for.
And they're making them fast. In an economy like ours, most producers make what they want, as fast or as slow as they want. Their guide is the consumer.
I like it. In fact, I like it so much, I think I'm going to buy one, maybe two. In fact, I think I'll buy a dozen. I sure do hope they keep on producing them.
That's how the system works. It depends on those concepts Donald was wondering about. Supply, demand, market price. Did you ever think about how these seem to go together?
Step right up, folks, and get one of these little wonders for only $10. Just $9, we'll get you one of our demonstrator models. Thank you, sir. Friends, these marvels of modern science are on sale. The price will be only $8. Thank you, thank you. Friends, due to the approaching holiday, there will be a further reduction in price. Only $7. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. And now it's time for our year-end clearance sale. Only $5. Buy them while they last.
Frank, you can't sell those for $5.
What do you mean I can't? Look how fast I can sell them for $5. We couldn't sell any for $10, but at $5.
It costs $6 to make them.
The price has to be high enough to pay the cost of production. I'll have to remember that.
Price depends on cost, supply, and demand. Price depends on cost, supply, and demand. Price depends on cost, supply, and demand.
This helps to explain some changes in our economy. When a producer's cost goes up, perhaps because workers are asking for higher wages, the producer may have to raise the price of his product. But people may stop buying.
Competition can affect price, too. If most dealers are selling a product for $7, you probably can expect to get $8 for it. Good consumers can spot a bad deal.
Then what's all this we hear about the consumer being at the mercy of the seller?
Not people who put no time and effort. When the consumer knows how the system works, she's in charge. She's got power. Maybe like this. Mr. Finley, I like them all, but I don't like the color. If you had a green one, I'd buy it.
National Wiebelfetzer, some of my customers are complaining. They want green ones, but you don't make them in green.
Stop the production line. Consumer research based on a survey of our dealers reveals a market for our Model X505 in green. We will produce 3,000 units per day in green.
Now that they're making green ones, I'll buy.
So consumers have a say about what's produced. But can they tell industry how much to produce?
Sure, through their buying. That's why so many producers try to increase buying with advertising.
It's the prettiest thing you've ever seen, and now you can get it in sunny forest green. You know what we mean when you see it in green. Yeah.
Whether you need a product or not, the producer advertises to build your demand for it.
Love your new green Wiebelfetzer, Donald.
Sometimes he appeals to your psychological needs.
Freedom. The freedom you've always wanted. You get it with...
He wants to make you buy. And that's not such a bad idea if you can really use what he's selling.
And if you don't need something else more.
That brings up one of those economic principles that Donald was talking about.
Opportunity Cost, our nation's favorite quiz game. Our contestants are Linda Sanford and Donald Olson. Linda and Donald, you each have $500 to spend and 1 minute to spend it. Remember, you can each select only one item. And now, let's start the clock.
Ooh, vacation
Thank you, sir.
Oh, seriously,
Cycle.
no,
Oh, I
that's
want
great.
that cycle.
Consumer
Oh,
clothing
boy.
is
Oh, but that
beautiful.
vacation trip. Oh,
No, no,
I want
oh,
that
it's
vacation
very on
trip.
record.
Oh,
Please,
boy.
I want to.
Oh, my goodness, those suits. I want those suits.
Was
That
gorgeous.
boat, that huge boat.
CB radio.
A CB radio. I want that CB radio.
I love
Oh,
that
that red Corvette. Oh, I want that
collection.
Corvette. Red Corvette. Oh, that's perfect for me. Tickets to the game. I want those tickets. Oh, what do I want? We can only have one thing apiece.
It's not fair.
Not fair? It must be fair because that's opportunity cost. Every time you use your money to select one thing, you lose the opportunity to buy other things. Every time you use your time to watch TV, you give up the time to read a book. There's only so much time and money available to you. And as time runs out on this game, like opportunity cost in everyday life, I'll ask you again, Linda and Donald, which one of these items do each of you want at the cost of losing the others? Decide, 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 decide.
Hey, Donald, Linda, don't worry. You'll have your whole life to decide what things you want the most and what you may have to do without to get them.
And with a little learning, you can work it out. You'll learn what the best values are so that you can shop wisely.
You learn about materials and manufacturing processes so you can choose intelligently.
You'll learn how to make money for your needs with a career you're really happy with.
You learn about saving, investing, to make your money grow.
You'll learn more about economic change and how to react to it.
But now, have we answered some of your questions, Donald? Well, let me think. Scarcity.
No matter how hard I work, no matter how much I make, I'll never be able to buy everything I'd like to have.
Those circles of economic activity.
Round and round, round and round. That's the circle of economic life.
And the way that...
Price depends on cost, supply, and demand. Price depends on cost, supply, and demand.
And?
Our nation's favorite game, opportunity cost.
You're right. I guess I do know more about consumer economics.
Consumer economics, what does it mean to me?
It means we'll get the things we want, we'll have the things we see. Consumer economics.
What does it mean to us? It means a way to give our lives that extra special plus.
Consumer economics, what can it give to you?
It brings a very special way to live your whole life.
That was a great song. I love it. All right. Got one last short film here. This is What Mary Jo Wanted. Was it related to what we had just seen as far as some sort of good or imaginary device? Let's find out. Enjoy.
Mary Jo was always daydreaming about dogs. Big or little, old or young, she wished they belonged to her.
Mary Jo's thinking about dogs again.
I'd rather have a dog than anything else in the world.
Oh, Mary Jo, you say the same old thing twice a week.
Yeah, honey, puppies need to be trained. They take a lot of patience.
They cry at night when you first bring them home.
Yeah, and nobody will be able to get any sleep either.
They cry because they're lonesome.
Who'll get up at night to talk to the puppy, huh?
Certainly not me.
I'll get up at night.
But 3 or 4 times a night?
I don't care.
You gonna feed it every day?
Make sure that it has water.
And brush and bathe him?
I'll do it. I want to feed and brush the dog.
It has to have walks, too, you know.
Honey, good dog owners must take full responsibility for their pets.
Ruthie has a pet. Why can't I have one?
Because she's older than you are. And besides, a bird in a cage is not as big a responsibility as a dog. Mary Jo, do you think you're ready to take care of a dog?
Yes.
Well, we'll see.
Mary Jo painted pictures of dogs. She read dog books by the dozens. She wrote dog stories.
Dogs.
And dog poems, too.
I want a doggy who's brown and nice. I want a doggy without fleas or lice. I want a doggy who doesn't bite. I want a doggy who doesn't bite. I want a doggy who doesn't cry at night. I want a doggy who smiles just right. For my very own.
Mary Jo even wrote a 2-page theme, and one morning she put it by her father's plate.
Why I Want a Dog by Mary Jo Wood. I want a dog because dogs are good, loyal friends. They're fun to play with, even though they are a big responsibility.
Oh, no.
I want a dog because they're soft and fluffy, cute and furry, and sweet and pretty.
A new pet store. Special for this opening. Small, lovable puppies while they last.
Hey, I like a badger. Do they have any badgers?
I like a skunk. Can't we go and see the new pet store and the puppies?
All right, Mary Jo. Maybe you are old enough to take care of a puppy.
Let's go!
Oh, they are cute.
They're the sweetest creatures in the whole world.
Which one do you want?
This one.
At home, they put newspapers on the kitchen floor, and Mary Jo blocked the doorway with a doll bed.
It's only until your house broken.
And be sure to call the vet this week to make an appointment.
The vet?
The veterinarian. It's a doctor for animals.
Yeah, because he has to have his puppy shot so he won't get sick.
I'll help you make the call, honey.
You're going to be a big responsibility. Do you know that?
Mary Jo and her friend spent hours going through dictionaries trying to find a name for the puppy.
What about Buzzard? He's not a Buzzard. I'll write it down anyway. Oh, all right.
Hey, what about Mr. Picklepone?
Mr. What?
Mr. Picklepone.
He's not a Picklepone either.
Well, it's the silliest thing I could think of.
I'm not even going to write that down.
Well, I tried.
Finally, Mary Jo decided to call him Teddy, because to her, he looked so much like a small teddy bear. And he felt as soft as a teddy bear. It didn't make any difference how many times he yawned at night. As soon as the house was dark and still and everyone was asleep, he began to cry as though his heart would break. Mary Jo had to leave her warm bed a dozen times a night. No matter if Mary Jo gave Teddy a little snack at bedtime in case he was hungry, no matter how comfortable she made his bed in the kitchen, no matter if she plugged in a nightlight in case he was afraid of the dark, no matter what she did, he would still bark and cry at night.
What's the matter, Mary Jo? Aren't you getting enough sleep?
My puppy cries at night.
Yes, I've heard him. Listen, why don't you try wrapping a clock in a soft flannel cloth and putting it next to the dog? He'll hear the ticking, think it's his mother, and he won't cry anymore.
That's right. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird. If that mockingbird don't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring. If that diamond ring turns brass, Papa's gonna buy you a looking glass. If that looking glass gets broke, Papa's gonna buy you a billy goat.
Honey, look. How long is this gonna go on? I never heard of a puppy crying as many nights as this one has.
Well, some of them get used to being alone a lot faster than others.
She's late for school nearly every morning. She's tired all the time.
You know, I'm beginning to wish we'd never seen that dog.
Yeah. Is that for your social studies class?
Yeah. Take some of this stuff in for the kids.
Good.
Daddy, Mommy, I found a way to keep Teddy quiet, and I'm going to get some sleep tonight.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
You will see.
What do you think?
Well, why not? It's probably the only thing that's going to solve the problem.
It did solve the problem. Teddy slept all night next to Mary Jo's cot without making a single squeak. And this went on until the puppy was housebroken and could sleep in Mary Jo's room. Mary Jo liked the kitchen at night. All the familiar kitchen objects made her feel warm and cozy. And it was fun to surprise her mother by quietly setting the kitchen table for breakfast before anyone else got up.
Mary Jo.
Hmm?
Wake up, honey. The kitchen elf's been here again.
He has?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't hear a thing. Did you, Teddy?
You.
So there's a couple of Mary Jo films which are based on books, of which this was one, and there's one called What Mary Jo Shared. It's the same family. I don't know if it's the same actress, though. We'll have to watch it and see. Anyways, I would consider myself a dog person, although I think that dogs are so incredibly needy that I don't think I really am a dog person. We have a cat, Josie, who was a rescue, and she's very sweet, and she doesn't ask much of us, and she kind of doesn't care about us. So thanks for joining us today. We hope to see you soon. Tomorrow I'm doing 2 shows. One is a special bonus show that, like, early, and then there's a later one, which is our regular show. So if you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Kevin, for donating. You can use the super thanks button, Patreon, KO-FI, etc. Thanks, everyone.